Okay, so I'm going to save a new file. Okay, save a new file. Don't break your old mesh or your actual mesh. Because this one we are going to apply all the modifiers and everything. Okay, so saving new file. I don't know why the file's so big. Okay, and now what we need to do is generate a rig and pose it in a pose, and then go and apply everything, weight paint it nicely, and then we can go and sculpt in more details if we need for printing. So first things first, if you haven't already done so, you need to enable the Rigify add-on, okay, and say save user settings, so that if you go and add an armature, you have these two options. So we want to add the human meta rig. Okay, it's basically just a body. Okay, basic. It's a guide for generating a rig. Okay, so to go and put this into position, we need to match up all of these bones with our character's proportions. So if we select it and turn on X-ray, we can see what we're doing. And in edit mode, we can now reposition all of these, and also in options, make sure that you turn X mirror on, so that you don't just move one side of the rig. Okay, so turn that on. Okay, so basically we need to go and match up all of these points with our character. To get it basically into position, you can, from the center of the scene in edit mode, select everything and scale it down, just so that the shoulders are more or less at the right height. Okay, or the neck, so that pretty much over there. Okay, and then we can go and tweak it further from there. Okay, so I normally start with the legs and then go to the arms and the center of, well, the spine and the head. Okay, make sure that your character is in the middle of the scene before you do this. So first of all, I'm going to just move all the legs across, all the legs, the bones of the legs across, so that my ankle is more or less where my ankle should be. Okay, and then I'm going to move the knee down to where the knee should be, and the hip down to where the hip should be, more or less. Okay, so somewhere over there. So the hip in this fold where the leg actually bends, somewhere along the middle of there. If you do move it away from the center, for now it's okay. Ideally we want the legs at least like that to be straight. Okay, so something like that. Okay. For the feet, this bone controls the banking of the foot, so if you were standing on either side of your foot. Okay, and then in this view, we need to match up the ankle, well, that with the last contact position of the foot or the shoe and the ground, so over there, the ankle, more or less where the ankle should be, I suppose. And then that is where your toes would bend from, pretty much. Okay, and that's then the front of your foot. That can, I don't know if it has any bearing on the height of it, so it can be on the floor, it can be over there. Generally, I'll just make it straight. And that as well, more or less in the middle of the foot. Okay, then it has to be a bend in your knee. Okay, like that is fine. I'm going to move it a little bit back, and then that can move a little bit forward like that. But there needs to be a bend so that the eye knows which way to bend the leg. Okay, okay, so that's enough for the feet. In terms of the rest of it, the hips we need to move all the way down, and generally I move that to just above where the spine and the pelvis would meet. Okay, that joint I normally put on the solar plexus, so in between the belly and the chest. Okay, the rest of this, and also generally you try and keep these in the middle of the character, more or less. Okay, I know realistically the spine is over there. Okay, however, if you put your character's spine over there and try and bend him over, or especially with a big character like this, the front, his belly, all of this is just going to collapse. Okay, so we don't really want that. Then to move the neck, you need to draw a selection, select both of those, okay, because there are two joints that you need to move. And that I'm just going to put more or less in the middle. So that's the neck bone itself, and then that's the top of the head. Okay, maybe drop that a little bit more. Just select all of that. Okay, something like excuse me, something like that. Okay, then the shoulder bones. Okay, the inner corner of it is basically the start of your collarbone. Okay, so there beside your sternal notch, and that would go up to where, more or less, if you draw a line up from the side of the body, the position of that actually doesn't make too much of a difference. Okay, it's just for the actual gizmo's rotation. And then the arm, generally I would select all of those bones, okay, all of them, and then rotate them more or less flat and move them over here. Okay, now that joint also does sit a little bit outside of the body, however this guy is very broad, okay, so I tend to move it a little bit further in, okay, that also more or less in the middle of the arm, maybe a little bit higher than the middle of the arm. I'm going to try something different than this one. Okay, and then that's where the wrist would be. Okay, so something like that. We do want these to be more or less in line as well. Okay. Yeah, I think his arm's going to fold easier if I do it like that. Okay, that, as I said, more or less there. In the top view, yeah, that's not too bad. I only need to do that as well. Okay, and the fingers, we do need to at least position them nicely so that we can pose them a bit at least. You know, hands aren't the nicest things to rig, but I'm just going to stretch them out from each other. Now remember when we modeled the hands, we did model the fingers straight in that axis, so the x-axis, as well as if we're looking at them like this, none of them are rotated around like that. They're all pretty much straight. Okay, so that means we know that our bones can also be straight. Okay, the thumb, I'm just going to move that out to the side as well. Okay, now these, that bone does taper a bit, so that goes from your knuckle all the way back to the joint of your hand. Okay, so those are the good 4 bones in your hand itself. That hand bone is a dummy, it's just, yeah, everything's parented to it, so that isn't actually an anatomically correct bone. But I'm just going to move the fingers out so that the knuckles are more or less in place. Oh, that moves. Knuckles there. You can turn the wireframe of your mesh on to help with this. So somewhat like that. And then these do taper in a little bit all the way back to the wrist pretty much. Okay, so something like so. Okay, now the fingers, since we know we've rotated them or modeled them straight, if we scale the bones flat, we know that they're going to be straight that way. Okay, so I'm going to try and model them, scale them as flat as I can that way. I know I'm moving the position of the knuckle now, but that's fine. Okay, we can just move them all back. Okay, fingers are, I think, the hardest bits to rig because there's so many bones. Okay, so now they're flat that way. Now we also need to pretty much get them straight because we did model our fingers straight as well. Okay, so what we can do is we can literally do that and then just go and scale them down along the normal again. Okay, so I'm going to stretch them out because I know they're going to need to be stretched out a bit. I'm going to rotate them just so that they match the figure that way, more or less. Okay, and now I'm just going to try and position each of the fingers. Okay, so what I'm going to do, see they're not quite accurate just yet. I'm going to select each finger on its own, so like that. Invert the selection, Control I, and then hide the rest of the bone. So now I'm only working with this. And now I can get it a little bit more accurate. Okay, now we just need to try and keep these as straight as possible. We can't keep them straight forever. But as long as they're more or less straight, we're only moving them up and down now. So from the top, they will still be in line. Okay. And more or less in the middle of each of those joints. Okay, Alt H will then unhide that to get back to the rest of them. Okay, so that should be fine. If it's right in the top and the front or the back view, then the side view should be fine as well, technically speaking. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for each one. Control I and hide the rest. Now, if you really want, what you can also do is you can go and apply a mask and hide the finger bits as well, so you're only looking at the finger itself when you're doing this, if you really want to, because it is quite confusing. So just what I mean by that is, if this is tough for you to see, select a finger, okay, just like that, and so I don't want all of those as well. Just all the faces, okay, so literally just the faces. Okay, put that in a group. So Control G, and then if you give it a mask modifier, you can go and select that vertex group, and then you're just looking at that one finger, which does sometimes make it a little bit easier. Okay, so try and keep them straight. Alt H unhides all the other bones. Okay, so something like that, that. The top view should be fine. And then okay, somewhat like that. Okay, I don't want it too much longer. Doesn't seem to be doing it, but anyway. Okay, so that should be good enough. Okay. So the last thing that we just need to do before we go and actually generate the rig as well is just with these fingers, we do need to make sure that they're all rotated the same way across the length of the bone. Okay, so the bone roll pretty much. And that we can see by, if we turn on axis somewhere. Axes, there we go. Okay, so you see that X arrow for all of the fingers need to be pointing the same way, so that when they curl or roll up, that they don't roll skew. Okay, that's very annoying. Okay, so, and that we can see by looking at this angle over there. Okay, so that we want the X to point outward. Okay, now I don't really know how we can get it perfectly straight, because that number isn't 180, which you would think it would be. What is that? Okay. So just rotate that until it's more or less flat over there, so that line is straight. And then, since we know all of our fingers are rotated the same, right, we can go, so we just need to make that missing up. Ooh, well. Okay, since all of our fingers are rotated the same, we modeled them flat. We can select all of them and select that one last and say Control N, recalculate roll by the active bones roll. Okay, so now all of those will be right. And then we just need to do the thumb quickly. Thumb, not a fun one to do. I think also it's because my thumb's modeled potentially not perfectly. Okay, so just bring that out to there, that out to there. Okay, now remember this is literally just to pose it, so it's not going to be animated too much. So if it's not perfect, it's also okay. So I'm just going to leave that one like so. Okay, bring everything back. Okay, then once you've positioned everything and you're happy with it, in the Armature tab, you scroll all the way to the bottom and there's a Rigify button, is Generate. You click that and you wait a bit. Hopefully it doesn't give you an error. If it does give you an error, copy and paste all your geometry to a new blend file, okay, and try and regenerate the rig there, okay, because it does sometimes happen that it doesn't work. Okay, once you've done that, now we have our rig, okay, and just for now, I'm going to turn on my X-ray so you can see everything. Now, if we scroll down in this menu at the bottom, there's a bunch of layers that we can just turn off to hide some of the controls we don't need just yet, or ever. So the tweak, we don't need ICAR arms, don't need the arm tweaks just yet. We don't need FK legs, and we don't need the leg tweaks. Okay, so that's what we need. Then in pose mode, we also just need to set the feet from FK to IK. Okay, and then to actually get it to work, just going to isolate those two. So just my body and my rig. Okay, and if you select the body and you shift select the rig and say Control P and say parent to automatic weights. So Armature deform automatic weights. And that should give you a modifier. So Armature modifier over there. So I'm going to move to up before my subdivision surface. Now in pose mode, if you do that, you should be able to make a move. Okay, so now we can, before you do anything, just mess around with him and see if he rotates enough. Okay, that's quite nice. I like that, how that works. That works better than in the previous one. Okay, so just go through the controls on the local rotations and transforms. Okay, and see if everything does what you expect it to do. And the hands also, particularly if you do or are intending to pose the hands a lot. Okay, just to make sure that they don't completely destroy themselves when you rotate them, which they don't seem to be doing. Okay, that seems fine. Okay, the shoulder. Okay, obviously, it still needs a lot of weight painting, so don't be too concerned if things don't look perfect. Okay, the neck. Okay, that is then just to rotate the upper body, that's the shoulders, that's the hips. Okay, the feet. I actually didn't even model your feet because he has shoes on, but the legs seem to be doing okay. Now the default weight painting generally is pretty good. Okay, so we don't normally have to do too much, but we'll have to do something. So I'm just going to reset all of those. Okay, and I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, now little things that we have to do, all the bits and pieces of the head. Okay, so for instance the eyes and the teeth and the mouth and all of that, we need to go and parent to the head bone. Okay, so for this one, we most probably aren't going to be doing like open mouth poses unless you really want to, in which case we can add a jawbone. We'll have some time, so I can add a jawbone just in case there are people who want to. So to do that, Okay, jawbone. In edit mode, so select the rig and go into edit mode. Okay, then turn on the third last layer over there. Okay, those are all your deformation bones. So those are pretty much the same bones that you just posed now. Okay, and then I'm going to say, I'm just going to put my 3D cursor over there somewhere. I'm not going to actually click on the character itself because that puts it then on the cheek, and one's in the middle of the scene. Okay, hey, go to the middle of the scene. Okay, so put it in the middle of the scene. Go over here and find the 3D cursor and set the X. Well, in that case, jawbone starts at there, expect, and then just set the X location of the 3D cursor to the 0 point, so it's in the middle of the scene, and then Shift A will then add a new bone, and select the tail of it, and then you can just position that on the chin somewhere. Okay. This bone, you're in edit mode now. Okay. We can then, well, first give a name, so call it DEF dash for deformation in caps dash jaw. Okay, so see the others are, sorry, no caps. Okay, you see the others have similar naming convention. Okay, and then that bone, you can literally just select the head bone and parent it to that. You say keep offset so it doesn't actually move it to there. If you say connected, it's going to do that, which you don't want. Okay, so Control P, keep offset, and then that should be good enough for our purposes. So if we go back to our pose mode, we do now unfortunately need to get all of our layers back, so I'm just going to scroll down here. And I'm going to put that on, find out what my head layer is, okay, which is that first one. And then back in edit mode, I'm just going to move that to that first layer over there. Okay. So if I turn that on and off, the jaw will stick with it. Okay, so now we need the head, we need the torso, we do need the fingers. Arm, FK, leg, IK, root. Okay, those are the ones we need. Okay, so now we can go and just with these, before we do too much, I'm going to just hide the body. So where we were before we made the jawbone was putting on the bits of the head. Okay, so the tongue and the lower teeth, I'm going to parent to in pose mode. I'm going to parent to the jawbone and say just to the bone, not envelope it, just parenting to the bone. The eyes and the upper teeth, you can parent to the head bone. Okay, so if we go and put the body back on, if we rotate that, okay, our teeth and our tongue move with, which is right. If we rotate that, all the head bits and pieces move along. Okay, so far so good. Great, so then we need to go and start fixing some of the weight paints. So the one thing we do need to just add the jaw. So to do that, we need to make a new vertex group and call it jaw. Same name as the bone. So the best way to do that is select the bone, find its name over there, copy that, okay, and then paste it over there. Okay, so that means if we're in weight paint mode, I just want to rotate, make sure it's open first of all. In weight paint mode, if we then go over there, have that selected, okay, turn on auto normalize, that's quite important. Okay, that means that you can't paint something more than 100%. Okay, so currently everything will be painted to the neck and the head. So if that's on, if we're painting jawbone now, it's going to take points or weight away from the neck and the head and assign it to the jawbone, as opposed to just giving it to the jawbone as well. Okay, so we don't want to share weights at this point. Okay, so I'm just dropping the strength a bit, and I'm going to just, so I do want to just turn that off again. Okay. So here, drop the strength a bit. If we paint now, we should see that the mouth will start to open. Okay, and if you want to do it more precisely, okay, we can, for instance, select the mouth loops. Okay, so up to a point, say there for instance. Okay, and you can just say here assign entirely, which will then add it. Okay, don't need to do that just yet because I need to be able to select them a little bit easier first. Oops. Make sure you're not in sculpt mode when you start painting these things. Okay, turn the strength up a bit as well. Okay, so just so that it is possible for us to open the mouth, should we wish to for the print, I expect there'll be more that we need to change on it if we want to open the mouth. Okay, so somewhat like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to blur that out. Okay, so that means if I rotate my jawbone, his mouth opens good as well. Okay, that's not great. Okay, it does happen sometimes, and I don't know why, that it paints straight through your character. Okay, which is entirely useless because now we've lost all of our. I think I'm touch screen. All of our weights that were there. So what we can do instead, we've got a jawbone now. We can just re-envelope him perhaps. Okay, so if we select our body and we delete everything, so we can delete all of that. Delete that as well as in our vertex groups. I'm just going to say delete all vertex groups unless you've made one which you need, which you probably haven't at this point. Okay, and then just re-envelope. So that I actually don't know if it's going to add the jawbone because it probably needs to be on a particular layer. Let's see. It needs to be part of a group which actually assigns it to the envelope society. Okay, there it did. Okay. Perfectly, I might say. Okay, anyway, so the rest would still be working. Okay, so now it's just a question of posing it, changing weights, okay, and sticking the clothes on as well. Okay, now the clothes, pretty much the same process as what we've just done. But to make it a little bit easier for myself, I'm just going to start merging some of my meshes together. Those that don't have too much, too many modifiers that are different. Okay, so that I'm actually going to leave on its own because it has a solidifier on that. I'm also going to leave all the buttons I'm going to add together. Now remember, this is just to get it in a pose, we're not animating. Okay, so things like the buttons we can actually just go and reposition on the pose mesh. Okay, we don't need to have the rig move those into place. Okay, so be aware of that. That also don't want to do anything to that. I don't want to do anything to that. Okay, so I think if we now just go select that and the same thing, automatic weights. It should now at least try and move that as well. Okay, now it's not going to be perfect. Okay, that's why we still need to weight paint a lot of it, but it will be something. Okay, so the idea is now that for the workflow from here on, we put it in a basic pose, then we go and apply that pose, and we go and sculpt back some of the details and whatever to really just like crisp up the model again. Since we don't really want to go and spend hours now making a rig just for one pose. Okay, anyway, we're rigging next module in any case. So basic weight painting and that kind of thing, but we don't really want to spend too much time on that. Okay, so that as well. pneumatic weights, pneumatic weights. Okay, so you will see it will start breaking things, but it's okay. You can go fix up the weights on those. Okay. Shoes. Okay, the belt and stuff, I'm probably going to just ignore those and just position those on top of the mesh when we've actually put it in our pose. Okay, so as we said, so now we should be able to rotate most of them. Okay, the clothes are moving with mostly. Let's see. Okay, so it's just these accessories that we can really go and stick back on just now. Now another thing that I very often do, especially for now, is I'll go and hide the faces of the body that I don't actually see. Okay, now I do think that that over there is still his body. Okay, that's not a shirt, so we can just texture that differently. But for now it's fine. So for instance, the legs entirely. I'm going to add all of those to their own weight vertex group. So probably up to there, okay. As well as, so I just really need that little piece where his shirt should be. All of this. Okay, and then not that. Okay, so just up to there pretty much. Okay, so all of that I want to hide. Okay, so I'm going to add that to a vertex group and do the same thing that I did with my fingers. So I'm going to add a mask and just select the very last, what we call the group, and just invert that. Okay, so that way we're not going to have, okay, we do need to put some more back. We're not going to have like double geometry and clothes sticking through the body mesh and that kind of thing. So just need to go and remove some points. Is that one? Well, okay. Let's go into my vertex groups and find my group and to remove. How did I do that? Weird edge loop that was. Let's take. Like sometimes I don't get it though, like why is it showing that edge? Not important anyway. Just so we don't have any holes and stuff. So okay, so something like that. It'll just make it a little bit easier as well. Okay. So things like that, then we do need to go and change. So for instance, that's quite an easy fix though. Because what you do is say now, if we want to rotate that and that happens, we know it's the arm doing it, okay, because it's all be rotating. So if we're going to edit mode now, and if you shift right click on a place, it's going to give you the available weight groups that are currently affecting that piece of the geometry. Okay, so we know it's going to be the left arm. Okay, so if we take that and we just set it to draw and we draw a 0, okay, it's going to remove all of the influence of that bone. Okay, so we know we definitely don't want arm to affect our character, well, our collar, sorry. And generally it's pretty accurate. We're going to set the right one as well. Okay, so now we know that that's not going to affect it. That will still, okay, but remember, we can still go and sculpt in changes. Okay, so now what we can do is now basically ready for us to go and pose him. We're getting ready to actually prepare the mesh. Okay, so generally what we need to do is just check that all of our meshes don't completely break. Now for the pose, I mean, we just want something that's not a T-pose. Okay, some nice pose for our character to stand in. Doesn't have to be like the super action pose, it can just be a comfortable pose with the character standing. So whatever is easiest at this point, I think do that. Okay. So I mean something just comfortable, I think is the best way to go, in my opinion. Okay, so let's just we will have intersecting meshes. I think 3D printing relies on the fact that we will. Okay, the hands, we can do something just to relax them a bit. If you can copy a pose to the other side by copying pose and then either pasting that button, that one, or Control-Shift V. Okay, which is also a nice trick. Okay, remember also for 3D printing, the more things that are unsupported, the more supports you have to print. Okay, so if your character's standing like this, can't just start printing, you know, it prints from the bottom up, so can't just start printing over here, because it's just gonna it's like squeezing out a tube of toothpaste. Okay, so it needs to go and make supports for all of this. So the fewer points that you have that need supports, the better. Okay, so a character standing with his hands on his hips is a really good idea. A character standing on one toe and stretching out is a really bad idea. Okay, so just bear that in mind when you guys start posing your characters. So it's really just, the rig is not meant to now go and make the amazing action pose, it's really just to get him in a comfortable position so that we can print him nicely. Okay. And actually, that mask modifier is not at all necessary for this. Okay, so it's just something comfortable. And then, once we've done that, okay, so say I'm happy with this, all that we need to do then is basically to go and apply these transforms. Okay, so basically I can go and take this and move that up there and apply it. Okay, can't do it to mesh with shape keys on. Okay, so if you do have shape keys, which most of us do, we just need to go and apply them. Okay, so that's just me opening his eyes. Okay, so I do want his eyes open for the print. So I'm going to minus the top one, leave that one there, and then minus that one. And then I can go and apply that. Okay, and same thing for my other meshes as well. So generally, I'd move the armature all the way to the top of the list, okay, and then apply it everywhere, and then we can just go back and, you know, reposition things that need to be fixed, okay, which we'll have to do on pretty much everything. Okay, so the armature all the way to the top of the list, and then apply it. Okay, generally it shouldn't be too much work, just tweaking everything again. So let's see. Okay, so one thing I forgot to say, put him in his pose. If there are things that really break with the weight painting, then you just go and fix those little bits of the weight painting, and then you carry on with this. Okay, apply that. Okay, and then since he is now in an asymmetric pose, all we need to do is apply that quickly. Mirror modifiers now aren't going to work too well since he's not symmetrical and he's not mirrored. Okay, apply that. Shoes as well. Apply the mirror modifier. Apply that. Okay, the belt I didn't even move, so we can go and adjust that now and just stick it back in the right place. So that's applied, that's applied, that's applied. Okay, also then the eyes and stuff inside of the head, it's fine for now, just don't move the rig. Okay, and then we can go and adjust everything again just with the grab sculpt tool, symmetry off. Okay. And we can now just quickly go and just fix all the bits that have broken. Okay, we can also go and sculpt in new details and stuff like that if we want to, which is quite nice to be able to do. What are they doing? They're busy killing someone upstairs. Okay, so we can also just go and tweak the color a bit again. Okay, and so we continue. Okay, so that is how far I want you guys to be for week 8. Okay, I don't see you guys next week. Sean sees you. So he's going to be looking at all your stuff. Please, I have no idea when he's going to see you. All that I know is Tuesday's a public holiday and I'm not here. So just check with him on that. I don't know why this freaked out so badly. Is that still cursing? Don't apply things if they have a mirror modifier on. That'll break. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the process is for that next week. But yeah. Okay, let's just fix this now. Okay, so then it's just tweaking everything. Putting everything back where it's supposed to be. Okay, everyone cool with that? Everyone know what they need to do? Okay, I see you guys again in week 8. Then it's literally just final check on everything. Please don't go and do this on your actual model. Save a new file. It's very, very important because once you do this, you can't go back and rig this or use this again. Okay, once you've applied things and broken the symmetry and really done this to it, there's really no return for from there. Okay, so don't work on your actual model file. Cool. Anyway, that's it.